quick turnaround for you guys, and let alone for LA having to travel these 2 days. I mean, how much of a challenge is it for you guys, and how much does travel compound that when you do have to fly back and forth and get up here?
Well, it's nice that we don't have to travel. I mean, but obviously they took a charter to Kansas City, so they got home last night. The travel is still an issue, but it's eased for them for sure. And who knows? Maybe they're chartering up here for all I know as well, and maybe there'll be a little bit of ease of travel. But certainly, it's better not to travel than to have to travel. It's just a turnaround. Is tight. I think. What was it, Taylor Twellman or somebody was advocating that we should, have a week before we play the play-in games, sort of like what they do in the NFL. But I know it's the FIFA window that makes that go the way it is. So we got to play on Wednesday, and so does LA. We're the lucky ones to have to play on Wednesday.
And do you think it's almost fair in some ways to reward the regular season top two a little bit more by giving them that extra break?
Yeah, I guess, but the break is also they play one less game. The break is that they don't have to play in a knockout game. So you can say, okay, do you give them a double benefit by, they don't have to play in the knockout game, and they get to play a team that's playing off a Wednesday game. So it's sort of like a double whammy. But again, I'm not going to get into all those details. That's, guys who get paid more money than me are there to figure that out.
And for you going against LA again, I know they've had your number in the playoffs. The 3 of the 6 years they've been the end of the road for the Sounders.
Yeah, but we've done well at home. Obviously last year we won at home against them, and we got knocked out because of the away goals rule. So we're confident, in terms of our ability to play at home. And I think in our 3 games against LA this year, I think shots on goal, I think we outshot them 2 out of 3 games in terms of shots on goal. So it's just a matter of us playing well, and us going out there and putting in the effort that we put in the first 30 minutes of the game, and then letting the chips fall where they may.
What's different about this Galaxy team? Is the biggest difference not having Sarvis and not having Donovan? What's the biggest difference from the team that they had last year?
Well, they brought in players. Just like us bringing in some players, it takes time for those guys to know each other. Gerard comes in mid-season. Dos Santos comes in mid-season. They obviously have a talented group and a good group. All of us are limited salary cap wise. I know a lot of coaches say, these guys are a higher budget team. Once you get beyond the 3 DPs, everybody's really working on the same budget. It's not changing for the other 17 guys. So I think things are pretty equal, and there's no David and Goliath there. And so, we have been forced into cap decisions. They were forced maybe into a cap decision with Sarvis, and obviously if they had Donovan, they wouldn't have Dos Santos. So I think it's just guys coming in at mid-season and the team starting to know each other and understanding each other.
Even if not now, do you feel that the Galaxy has ever been in y'all's heads, gotten into your guys' heads, just the Crest history?
No. It's just, obviously it's a team. Last year we had, like I said, we had, I think, 4 of our starting 11 out for a majority of that series. And, when you take away, 30% of your team, it makes it difficult. So hopefully that's not the case this year. We're going to be able to play with our group against their group. And again, we feel we can play. Even the game we lost down there 1-0, I thought we had enough chances to win that game. And obviously the second game we had a really different group out there on the field, but we feel confident.
How did Ozzy come through overnight?
We'll know more today. Yeah, he came in, he's getting treatment, and so we'll know more today.
And Nagel's okay. Yesterday was just coach's decision.
Coach's decision. Yeah.
And you mentioned the games last year, and Ozzy was one of those guys that missed the first leg. How does it change your game plan if he can't go?
Well, he's missed now the last 2 years. So hopefully he will not miss this year, because otherwise it makes it 3 years in a row. Obviously we got to, make an adjustment, put somebody else onto the field.
How different is it? LA's coming in here losing their last 2 games. I know they've been on the road all those times, but
you can throw all that stuff out the window when it comes time for the playoffs. I've seen teams be on a really good streak and get knocked out early on, you know, and I've seen teams be on a poor streak and all of a sudden they put a streak together. So we're in a cup competition. It's a one-off game. You know, it is a do or die game, you know, and anything can happen. You can throw the other games out the window.
Given that it is do or die and how attack capable the Galaxy are, do you play more conservatively against them? Do you try to take it to them? Do you look to counter?
No, we've got to come out and play the same way we played against Salt Lake at the beginning of the game. That's the way we got to play.